What's up, world? I'm Isaiah Lilley here with another interview with Respect My Region. Today's guest is Topp from the Tri-Cities. He's been killing the game lately. Most notably, his last song, That Season, came out. Was a huge hit, popped off on YouTube. Go check it out if you haven't yet. But here we go. So what's good, Topp? How you doing?
Pretty good, bro. How about you, man?
Not too bad. You know, just been chilling, still through this quarantine, COVID type ish or whatever.
Right? Fucking,
you know, got
pandemic or whatever.
Mask up and do all that fun ish. But yeah, so let's just pop this off with the first question. Tell us about your upbringing in Tri-Cities and what it's been like popping off, being from a city that most people outside of Washington haven't really even heard of
at all. So shit, I would say growing up in Tri-Cities it was interesting because it's like in Pasco, when I was growing up, there was a lot of mainly Hispanics in Pasco, and then like Kennewick and Richland are like mainly like white people. And it's like Pasco used to be predominantly black until like in the 90s when a bunch of cops raided and did a bunch of weird shit and locked a bunch of family up and all this weird shit that happened. So basically that happened, and then now it's like predominantly Hispanic, which is cool, which is dope, but it's like growing up there as an African American in an environment like that, it's just like we didn't really get to see, like every black person we saw, we knew that we were probably related to them. So we like, just like even dating black women was like different. We're just like, I don't know, because I might be related to you, so I'm probably not gonna do that. So it was just a very weird, like that thought process for a high schooler is like a very weird dynamic to grow up with, you know what I'm saying? So luckily I got out of there for a couple years and I got to like see the outside looking in, and it kind of shaped my perspective on it. But if I didn't leave, I'd probably be on some other shit. I think staying there made, jade your perspective a little bit. But I feel like that's anywhere. You stay anywhere in the world, then you don't do anything or go anywhere, your perspective might be a little jaded. But Tri-Cities is it's a little weird like that.
I feel that.
So,
with that in mind, how describe what got you into making music and how your mother and father played a role in that, because I know your dad was heavily involved into the music scene down there.
Yeah, so
Pasente loving.
Yeah. So it started off, well, my dad's always been making music and my mom's always been singing, but they were pastors for a long time in Tri-Cities, or in Pasco. They owned the church and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And like, they were doing that for a long time. So I was like, we were pastor kids for a little minute, and then I'm not really too sure what happened with that situation, but then he just went straight music. But he's always been doing music, and then through that, he just like was always producing in the living room, always playing the saxophone, always playing the piano, always had people pulling up to the crib to record. He always had the lit, you know what I'm saying? I'm good right now. He always had people, you know what I'm saying, all the artists who were doing shit in Tri-Cities always pulled up and like, just like recording with him, and like he would just mix them and produce for him and just all this stuff. And then we used to try to write and record with him, and he used to be like, nah, you're not ready to record. You got to go back in the room and like find your voice and like all these things. And that just like gave us a drive to like want to be like the kids who my dad was messing with, like the teenagers. And we're like, 11, 10, 9 or whatever, just like in the room trying to like, don't say it, oh, this is hard, he gonna like this. We come out and he's like, nah, it's not it. Like, you gotta go find your voice. It's not your voice. And so like I kind of just had that mindset the entire time, like with music. But it's crazy because like even in high school, I really wasn't even, like I was doing music, but I wasn't recording music like that until I would say like junior, senior year. Like before that, it was like, I didn't know. I always knew music was in me, but I never saw myself doing that like for like my life, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I was always trying to figure it out, like, damn, what should I do? Like, I tried sports, I wrestled, I love wrestling, that shit was dope, but like, none of it like stuck with me like music has my entire life. So it's just like, when it came around like that, and then my mom passed away after I was already doing music for like 6 months, it was just like, I don't know, it's kind of like destiny in a way. Just like keep it going, you know what I'm saying?
And kind of describe like those, you told me about those room sessions with your siblings. Kind of just tell me a little bit more about what that was like just spending hours in silence in these rooms, just trying to think of shit to impress your dad. Like what What did you ever feel like? Was it always motivating when he was like, "Nah, that ain't it," or did it ever kind of get to like, shit? Like, is he ever gonna like something? Like,
as motivating as it can be to like an 11-year-old.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
hearing
the person you're trying to get like praise from tell you that nah, you're not ready yet is like heartbreaking. But at the same time, it is inspiring because we didn't stop. We were like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, these are hard bars. You gonna see? Like, what did you talk about? Like.
But it helps you get ready, like, because when you're making music, you're always going to be critiqued.
Yeah, exactly. Fact. So,
a lot of those hidden lessons and coming up.
Straight up.
With that said, I do want to go into our first segment, Explain That Bar. If you watched the first show, you'll remember this is super simple. Just going to quote a bar from one of your songs. You'll just tell me what that means to you, what kind of came from that, all that good jazz.
For sure.
So first one I want to talk about is from your song, Prettiest Star.
Word.
So here we go. Might not deliver it like you do.
Yeah, no, you good, bro.
So that's the prettiest star that I've ever seen. I can feel it caught in my memory. I looked right up to God, asked her what she think. She said, if you won't talk, sing a melody.
That shit is crazy. Well, interesting thing about this song is I was high as fuck on shrooms when I did this one. And yeah, so that's, okay, hold on, let me read it. Okay, so what I was talking about in this prettiest star in general is really God, or my form of God, which is like my mom, or like, you know, female energy, whatever you want to call it, you know, that entity. But for me, a direct connection to that is through my mom. I feel like all of us have that through our parents, you know what I'm saying? And so like I was just talking, you know, the prettiest star is like that universal light that we get from our mother, because we're born into this earth through that, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like our mother, or that mother energy, is our light, you know? And so that's what I'm talking about as the prettiest star, and that's the prettiest star that I've ever seen. I could feel it caught in my memory, you know what I'm saying? Because she's not here with me, so all I have is my memory of her. I look right up to God, ask her what she think. I'm looking at her, or that entity. She said, if you gonna talk, singing melody. So she's basically telling me my path, like what I have to do, like how do I do this? How do I communicate? How do I help the world? And she's like, if you gonna talk, singing melody. And so melody is just like, you know, it's just melody, you know, singing melody.
That's cool, because in earlier talks we've had, your mom was actually involved in the choir, like she sang herself. So like knowing that you're talking about her in this song and that you tie it to singing melody, and see how that is inspired by her and how that comes together. That's dope.
Straight up.
I like that.
Very interesting. That song was crazy.
It's one of my favorites for sure. But next one from your song, We All Say, off of your 333 mixtape.
Yeah.
So let's I ain't have to do it, but I love a challenge. I guess I'm only here just to change the balance. We moving like a force, gotta stay aligned. We don't show remorse, this is state of mind. They're gonna try to lie and gonna take your mind, but they ain't got no clue what we stay behind.
Facts. I mean, that's that's pretty. I mean, really, I'm talking about every fucking organization or group of people out there who are trying so hard to control the minds of people, everyday people, you know? And if you don't think that there's entities or corporations or just people out there who want to control your mind, just look at the people around you. Like, some people around you say they're friends and they just want to control your perspective of them and use you. So imagine that on like a world level, you know what I'm saying? Like, people who have billions of dollars and they don't want to give that up, who have billions of, you know, whatever, they have like so much infrastructure and information and knowledge and power that they don't want to give that up. Like, if your friend might do that to you, who's like broke and just doesn't want to like lose you or something as a friend or something, like imagine what somebody like that would do. And so that's what I'm talking about. I'm just like, they really gonna try to lie and take your mind, but they ain't got no clue what we stay behind. And when I say that, I'm talking about the universal energy that we all got, that we all have within us, like the power that we have, the thoughts that we have. Like, some people don't even view their thoughts as like amazing. Like, every thought you have comes, like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? That is like a force of energy that's just within you. And it's just like, we just have them, and we just take advantage of this shit because we don't know any better. Like, we don't think that our thoughts are like powerful, but bro, like, what? That's the most powerful thing on the planet is a thought. Everything started from a thought, from this camera that you're shooting with, this conversation. Without thoughts, we would not be able to have this conversation. That piece of paper, this phone, you know what I'm saying? So like, thoughts are the original source of everything on this planet. And that's why I said that in that song.
That's deep. That's dope. That's one of the things that I've come to love about your music is that sometimes the simplest thing.
Yeah.
Like, you started off like, oh, that's pretty basic. Like, I said what I said, but you still had this like in-depth analysis explaining like the real why.
Yeah.
That's what's dope. Like, and your perspective on thought. Like, there's this something that I heard a long time ago, that thought is a great servant but a bad master, which is basically saying like, don't think too much.
Yes.
Like, use it to your advantage, but don't use it as like a crutch, or don't rely on it.
Yes, facts. I just watched something yesterday on Joe Rogan. I think it was Joe Rogan with Hotep Jesus, and he was saying like, thoughts should come second, intuition should come first, and then after intuition, your thoughts should be only used to figure out how to manifest that intuition into physical form. So like, that's how I view the shit, you know? Like, it's like, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory.
All right, last one. This is from your latest drop, That Season.
Yes, sir.
Which the video went hard on YouTube.
I know, he hit me up a couple times. He's like, yo. Yo, what the fuck?
That shit was hard, but all right.
Thanks,
so, eating, we don't sleep in. I'm that boy. Like, nature don't need a reason, but since you really gave one, I might just teach you. Said we finna form a nation. Fuck all the preaching. It's that fucking season.
Yes, sir. And I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, but it's got a deeper meaning also. It's like we don't sleep in. First of all, the number one cause of death in America is sleep deprivation. A lot of people don't know that. So we literally aren't sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Most of us are grinding every day. And that's because we have to get ahead in this society. You know what I'm saying? In a capitalistic society, we have to capitalize on the time that we have. And some of us don't have the luxury to not capitalize on the stuff that we have, or the time that we have. So that's what, we really don't sleep. And then, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying I'm that nigga boy by nature, don't need a reason. Because, bro, that's facts. They try to tell us that we're not the shit. And it's like, bro, I exist. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. We exist. We're here on the earth as human beings. That is, I just feel like there's so much untold power and information about just the regular things that we do on a daily basis that's stopping most people from understanding that they deserve more. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, then it's how could you think that you deserve more? If you always thought that you were a slave, if you especially black people, because they only tell us our history from slavery on, you know what I'm saying? It's slavery, civil rights, and we're here. Racism's over. It's bro, first of all, what happened to the millions of years before that? Because we existed for millions of years. And even in the slavery time, they don't even give us the real information. You know what I'm saying? They don't tell us that it wasn't just regular white people enslaving people. It was fucking Freemasons. It was fucking Freemasons who enslaved us. They also, in order to even own slaves, you had to go to a college. It was a class that you had to learn in order to learn how to break down an African being. You know what I'm saying? Think about how deep that is. That's deep as fuck.
I never heard that.
Yeah, I barely found that out recently. So it's these little, that would make most black people stop trying to fuck with regular white people, because it's not regular white people who are doing this shit. It's not regular white people who are going around hanging people. It's fucking, I believe that it's these are very strategic hits and moves. You know what I'm saying? I feel they use racism to keep us at this frequency and always thinking that everything's racist, which racism does exist, and obviously it's real, but when it's used as a weapon, it's hard for an oppressed people to see outside of that. So I feel my job right now is to let people know that yes, racism is real. Yes, systematic racism is real, but it's not all white people who are like that. We have to figure out who's really behind these hits. You know what I'm saying? All these cops killing people. I think this shit is honestly, I think it's way deeper than a lot of people think. Most people might not want to agree with me or even hear what I have to say, but all I'm saying is what we've been doing and the perspectives that we've been had has not really got us nowhere. So I think it's time to like look deeper into this shit. And like, I've always hated politics, but I've started to like study politics. It's like, of course, everybody's like, politics it doesn't matter. So it's like, fuck that. And I've had that mindset for a long time, but I kind of feel like that's probably one of the main areas that we haven't dove into as a people to try to combat that, that level of, you know what I'm saying? That level of, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially black people, because it's like, we hate politics. Only time we cared about politics was when it was Obama getting into office, and that nigga didn't really do shit for us. And I'm not even gonna sit here and cap. Like, more black people died in 2015 when he was presidency than the worst year of Jim Crow. So it's like, we're so obsessed with symbolisms and not real change, you know? And it's not even really our fault. We're programmed to do that. But it's like, and now it's time to unprogram, you know what I'm saying? It's time to unprogram and reprogram. It's time to figure out what the fuck's going on in the world so we can make a change, so we can get the fuck out of this situation. So it's that fucking season. It's time to start a nation, period. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. It's time to start a nation. And that doesn't mean that we all have to separate from everybody, because I believe a lot of people won't leave America, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we could be able to, like every other nation, they come out of America. You know, people come into America, buy shit, and then they leave, go home, bring the money back. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a normal thing that nations do. So the fact that we really don't have that is a problem. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we have to figure it out. And I think, honestly, we need to start, because it's not illegal to start a nation within a nation. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's common. And you only need 150 people to start a nation. So if we really, you know, did our research on this shit, got our money together, and figured it out, we can start a nation easily. Not only were we here before Europeans got here, so off rip, we should be able to get a piece of land that's for us, because they give Native Americans land when it's like the true Native Americans were extremely dark black people. Even Christopher Columbus and his homeboys in his notes wrote that everywhere they went, they saw Africans. Like every continent that they went to, they saw Africans. So it's like, through that information, we already know that we were here, but they try to tell us that we all came from Africa, which is not real. It's not realistic that they got millions of Africans from Africa. That doesn't make any sense, you know what I'm saying? Especially when there's already Africans here. So I don't know, I could go on forever about the shit. Like,
well, that's been an eye-opening look into Topp's in his music with Explain That Bar, which is actually just, we'll keep it rolling, has been a great segue into my next question.
Straight up.
I know Raz Simone is one of your original inspirations, and being someone who has seen, you know, for yourself firsthand the mission that he's been on and what he's been doing out there.
Yeah.
How badly has national media twisted the perspective and the narrative, and anything you want to like set the record straight on with that?
I think, well, shit, what I've seen on media is very weird, bro. And like, I feel like this situation is something that everybody in the Northwest can look at and like really try to understand how media twists shit. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy to see it. Like, first of all, I don't know Raz like extremely personally, but I do know that what they're saying in the media, him being a warlord and like, you know what I'm saying, all of these other things, that shit is cap, bro. So it's like it's just so weird how they play these games in the media, and it's like, I don't understand. I don't know. I have my own like personal feelings about Chop or Chaz, whatever they call it now. Like, I think it's a little weird, but just I don't know, like the stories that they paint with certain people. And why Raz Simone, you know what I'm saying? Why? Because he's easily to manipulate the people about, because he drops music videos like that and he talks about that shit in his music. So it's like, okay, he's an easy target to make seem like he's this kind of person, you know what I'm saying? That's how I view it. So like, I think it's cap. I think people should do their own research. I think they should look deeper into shit. Don't trust the news. Obviously, I don't understand why anybody has to say that now.
Yeah.
Like, you still watching the news for true information? I don't know what to tell you about it.
If you're watching the news, if I were to watch the news, I've heard the best way to do it is you got to watch both sides of the news. So
exactly.
You flip back and forth. Like, once you hear something from one place, go to the next spot and see what they're saying. Then you'll probably be able to find the truth in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, you're just seeing two lies. So like, that's just how to like figure out, you know what I'm saying? Like, weave out the bullshit. And so it's like, That's how I watch it too. Like I'll watch the news just to figure out what kind of lie they're spreading, because usually I'm looking at the research to understand what's truly happening. But you know, not everybody's on that type of time. It's all good though, 'cause that's what people like us, you know, straight up.
So, to kind of keep it rolling, what are your thoughts on that Black Lives Matters cause and George Soros, who most people just know him as a major donor to Black Lives Matters cause, but some people know it's a little bit deeper than that.
For sure.
Can you explain a little bit into what I'm saying there?
Well, see, my thing with Black Lives Matter is the phrase is true, of course, but I think that somebody coined the phrase and added it to a movement that truly wasn't for Black lives. And what I mean by that is people like George Soros, who was a very rich Democrat, literally funds an entire feminist homosexuality movement. And before anybody comes at me for saying that, let me explain myself. George Soros not only funds the Black Lives Matter movement, but he also funds the LGBTQ community, which is nothing wrong with that. But when you go to the Black Lives Matter website, it literally says that their mission is to destroy heterosexual, relationships basically, and like to destroy that stigma and to like push homosexuality and transgenderism and all of these things, which is cool, but that's, first of all, that's not even like this whole thing about Black lives and like all these they're kind of like trying to change it into a homosexual transgender movement in a way. And it's like, that's not a problem, but we're not all fighting because we're homosexual and transgender. We're all fighting because we're Black. And I feel like that needs to be the root in all roots. Like if you have melanin skin, then the fight's for you. It doesn't matter about your sexuality. It doesn't matter about what the fuck religion you pray or want to do. It doesn't matter about none of these things. I think the only thing that matters is if you look like me, or maybe a little lighter, or maybe a little darker, and you view yourself as Afrocentric with this ideology, you should be able to be in this fight for liberation, period. That's just how I feel about it, because I feel like when it's, I don't know. But I just feel like there's an agenda going on. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like there's a weird agenda going on, and I don't think that the Black Lives Matter movement is 100% for us. I do believe that the Black people who are outside marching and doing these things for us, their intentions are most likely in the right place. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we have to look at the organization behind the people who have good intentions. Because do you think that in the civil rights movement with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they would let niggas tag up Black Lives Matter in Seattle and fucking Washington, D.C.? And like, do you think they would really let niggas do that? Like tag a big ass Black Lives Matter on the road?
Definitely not something that would be big on their agenda. No.
That's what I'm saying. So like, and all these companies posting the Blackout Tuesday shit and like all of these weird fake symbolisms. You know what I'm saying? Symbolisms. And it's like, it's not real change. It's not, yes, it's inspiring and it feels good and it like fills your hope for like change, but it's not real change. And I think that's what we need to start focusing on, is real systematic change. And if they're not gonna give it to us, then we need to figure out, I mean, regardless, we need to figure out our own shit. But like, if they're not gonna give it to us, then we need to stop trying to be included into something that, you know, we know is really not for us, you know. But that's just my opinion on that.
Yeah.
I could go way deeper on that, but I could be talking for hours. Like, I'll be talking for hours.
Well, like, we have talked before about how you want the Black community to kind of come together and start creating your own shit. Kind of what I come to mind is Black Wall Street back in the day.
Exactly.
And a lot of people, honestly, I didn't learn about Black Wall Street until probably within the last like month or two.
Straight up, a lot of people.
And with that being said, will your kids ever go to public school, or are you gonna homeschool them so that you can teach them their history so they can learn Black history and not just the sugar-coated shit they serve in public school?
It depends. It only depends on, because So let's say we don't build our own nation, right? Young Pharaoh, if you don't know who Young Pharaoh is, you should watch him. He's very, very smart. So Young Pharaoh is, he has this idea of 75% segregation. And when he says that, he thinks that people should be able to, we should teach ourselves, everybody should teach themselves their own history, their own science, whatever the fuck. They should police their own neighborhoods. But if like everything else though, like the shit that we already do together, we could do together. Like if we want to club, sports, you know, hang out, smoke, whatever the fuck, like all of that shit is cool. Everything, like, you know what I'm saying? We can still be regular people. But when it comes to teaching and when it comes to medical, like hospitals, and when it comes to policing, he believes there should be like a 75% segregation there. And like, I think about back to like the civil rights movement when they ended segregation, right? Which was a beautiful thing. And like, honestly, probably wouldn't know a lot of great people because of that. Although the position of my people has gotten worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, the black dollar stays in the black community for like minutes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and stuff like not having our own anything is the reason for that. We don't own any businesses. So the second I get paid, I go down the street to Circle K and I spend some money, it's already out of my community. You know what I'm saying? In 2 seconds. And then like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous. So it's like, I kind of feel like little things like that would create, not only for the black community, but for every community, it would increase. It would increase the money flow through every community. You know what I'm saying? It would decrease the percentage of crime done based on racism and prejudice. Literally, it would delete all of that. There would be no more white cops killing black people. There would be no black cops killing white people. There would literally be none of that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that there wouldn't be corrupt cops, because there's always probably going to be corrupt cops, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it would destroy, I think it's the fifth most deadly thing for African American men is police officers. So that goes out the fucking window. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. You know, I think the thing with corrupt cops is probably like, you know, let's start promoting better shit through media, I guess. Like, let's stop making movies about dirty cops. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Let's stop promoting the bad guy or whatever the fuck narrative might be influencing that kind of behavior. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I think that's a pretty good idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like something that kind of already doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? White cops police very rich neighborhoods. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's like, and this doesn't have to be like a law for that. Like, that just happens. But also majority of white cops police minority neighborhoods, which is nothing wrong with that. But the fact that we have so many police killings and all of these things going on, it's an issue that has to be resolved and dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's just my opinion on that.
I like it. So it's different. It's eye-opening, you know.
Yeah.
Learn, you know, talking to you can always kind of pick something and learn something, which is why I feel like we always have some dope conversations.
Straight up, facts.
We kind of got through the nitty-gritty. Let's time for something fun. I know you got some bars to drop for us.
Yeah, I could do a little something. I could do a little something.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
Yo, your boy Topp. For the 3. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Whoa, hold on. Yeah. And I made this beat, nigga. Yeah. Look. Been picky. Had to get my niggas off the cotton mill sitting. Making sure my niggas on the cotton mill winning. I can see the energy, my body chills. Take these drugs right off my back, man, fuck all cotton fields. You can eat your fruit if your fruit rotten still. It's the pain that really got my niggas popping pills. It's a war, so of course they running drama drills. All the war, it's the law, they know how drama kills. But fuck it. I come through, I'm shooting buckets, nigga, and they ducking. Off the top, I'm really coming, so these niggas better really get to running. We on the cam and it's real. Yeah, my nigga gon' kill if you fuck around with my family. None of us gon' be still, and I put that on my mama and my daddy and my baby too. Hope these niggas really coming, cause we gon' aim at you. And I ain't talking about the ignorant shit. These niggas is ignorant bliss. I like, hold on, let me get the fucking cigarette kid. I'm smoking weed cause I like the smoke in the air. Yeah, these bitches stare cause they wanna glare. But it's okay cause I'm already here and over there. That means a multi-dimensional nigga.
Yo, that was dope, dog.
Thanks,
this
man.
interview has been lit. Thanks for coming through.
No, of course, thank you.
This has been Topp with Respect My Region. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to follow us on all the socials, IG, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Hit them all up, respectmyregion.com.
Straight up.
Blast it. Thanks for joining.
Peace.
I'm Isaiah Lilley. This has been Topp. Deuces.